My school got shot up, but I'm the only one who remembers it. There was always something unusual about my classmate Carter. He was always quiet and kept to himself. He fit the stereotype of a typical school shooter. I wish we could have become closer friends. Maybe this horrifying situation could have been avoided. In middle school, Carter was the silent, emo kid who made dark jokes every 4 seconds. In those years, most kids were the same, but Carter was on a whole different level. Except, he literally got beaten to a pulp every other day. The sad part was that nobody ever helped him. The few times I tried to report what was happening, the teachers told me they'd look into it, but nothing ever happened. I just never could have expected Carter to go down this horrifying path. I remember the first time he tried to commit unalive. Apparently, he'd been planning it for months and brought a rope to school with him on the excuse that it was for a project. When I saw him leave with his backpack for the bathroom, I got a bad feeling and asked if I could go too. I was the one to talk this kid down from unaliving himself on a railing right outside the school's bathroom. And sadly, it wasn't my last time doing so. He tried 3 more times throughout middle school, and I tried to tell people, but nothing came of it. It was as if nobody cared for him in the slightest. Maybe that's why he did what he did. High school only got worse for him after that. I remember on the first day of school after summer break, he gave me a smile in the hall. This was odd, he looked better, happy even. I found out later that he'd gone to therapy throughout the summer and had been working out. But I remember later, seeing that same depressed, dejected expression plastered on his face later on, after having milk poured into his backpack and his hoodie. I had tried to go over and help him clean it, but he gave me a weak smile and told me not to worry about it. Every time something happened, I could see him reverting further and further into the boy he used to be. Yesterday morning, he texted me that we didn't have school that day. I'd been confused, seeing as he hadn't texted me in over a year, so I asked my mom, who told me that yes, there was school, and that I was going. I texted him back telling him what my mom told me, and waited to see what he said. He left me on read. Even more confused than before, I decided to brush it off and get ready. That was probably the gravest mistake I'd ever made. He wasn't in our first period class. I was confused at first, seeing as I'd told him that school was being held today, and that he had to be there for the test, but figured he just didn't want to come and stayed home to study for an extra day. Halfway through the Pledge of Allegiance, the office lady with the most boring voice imaginable stopped talking with a small gasp. We heard the rustling of movement in the background, and then a concealed bang. There was a cry of pain and then another 3 shots, then ragged, gurgling breathing coming in through the loudspeaker. We, the overtired, overworked, and pessimistic high school students that we were, chuckled at what we thought was just a stupid joke designed to scare us. It was October after all. But after a few more moments, there were a few more shots and a few more screams. We heard the faintest, last-breath-tinged voice of the woman over the loudspeaker one last time. Active shooter, code red, call 911. To say that pandemonium broke out would be an understatement. Mr. Wayne quickly turned off the lights and shoved us all into the corner of the room. We sat there, huddled, while people texted their parents goodbye. I was no different. My dad didn't talk. I think he was at work or something and didn't have time to look at the messages, but I wondered if he watched the live broadcast of the thing. I put my phone in my hoodie the minute I heard a shot from outside our door, and I closed my eyes as if it would make it all go away. Girls were crying beside me, and the other guys in my class were freaking out. But the moment I heard the door to the classroom beside us being kicked in and the screams of students cut off by gunshots, an eerie calm washed over me, and I stood up, pushing the desks to blockade the door. A couple of other guys and our teacher caught on and helped